I am compelled by a spiritual force that I cannot resist to swear my eternal allegiance to the king and the flag of the Yoruba nation. Therefore, in the name of my king, I solemnly swear to do everything in my power and use every means conceivable for the welfare of my people and the preservation of the customs and the traditions of my ancestors. So let it be, all ye gods of Africa.
Yes, that is the Pledge of Allegiance here at Oyotunji. It's the pledge that we were required to say in grade school, all the way up to 12th grade. Every morning, you had to repeat both versions of that pledge. Now, it's interesting because the first line in English translation, it says, I am compelled by a spiritual force. And, of course, we were to understand that that particular spiritual force is the force of our ancestors, the force of our cosmos, the force of our natural energies. I'm compelled by a spiritual force that I cannot resist. And then back in the 70s, a lot of the people who were coming straight out of the Black Power movement used to come and say, they amended it and said that a force that I cannot resist, don't want to resist, you know. But nonetheless, it's a force that you do not want to resist. And then the next line is, I swear my eternal allegiance to the king and the flag of the Yoruba nation. That means that you obviously swear your eternal allegiance to the king, to the flag of the Yoruba nation. Now, once again, all Yoruba peoples, if you're into this tradition and practicing it from from a traditional angle, then you're going to have a king that you pay homage to. So if you travel to Yoruba land and you are being made babalawo in someone's house or risha in someone's house, depend upon it, the king, it is grace the king's ears. The king knows you're there, even if you do not see him. So do everything in my power and use everything, okay. I'm compelled by a spiritual force that I cannot resist to use everything in my power and use every means conceivable for the welfare of my people. That's self-explanatory. And the preservation of the customs, the culture, and traditions of our ancestors. And so that's saying that you're going to do everything in your power conceivable. So if you get in an argument in the street with Billy and Joe, you know, the first thing that comes to your mind is that you are out of line and you're not doing everything in your power and ability for the welfare of your people because you may be at that particular point contributing to the delinquency of your community. And so it says that for the welfare of my people and the preservation of the customs and traditions of our ancestors. And then we ask that, so let it be, all ye gods of Africa. Or the last line is, so let it be, all you gods of Africa. And so we put it in the hands of the Orisha and hope that when people become initiated, they take on the full Ori of Orisha and shed much of their prior ego. And so that was a pledge of allegiance that was invented by those people who we spoke about earlier, who began this whole culture movement and got the engine started on African people understanding and a Yoruba or African concept of culture and religion.
Sure. We have a caller, obviously.
Okay, take the caller.
The caller is at 773. 773, you're on the air. Can we get your name and where you're calling from?
Hi, this is Monsho, Alafia.
Hey, Alafia.
Hi, I just wanted to say thank you, first off, for holding such, Osaremi, for holding such good radio and on-air things. I've been listening to you for the last few weeks, very new to this, but
yes,
every time you're on, I'm here, and I can't pull myself away from it. And also I wanted to say thank you for your prayers. That was from the Facebook, the young lady who had the moon headache. I wanted to say thank you as well.
Oh, yeah. How you doing, sis? You okay? Yeah,
I'm doing well. I'm doing much, much better. Thank you so much, and thank you for all of your well wishes for me. But I have a question for Oba Adefunmi. I am very fascinated with Oyotunji, and I've been captivated for quite some while, but also at the same time intimidated. I've always wanted to come and visit the village, but just didn't know how to approach the situation or how I would be received or just, the ins and outs of that. Can you give me insight on that, or what should I do?
Well, the best thing to do is arrive at Oyotunji on, and I'm gonna give you what we commonly refer to as the up and up. Arrive at Oyotunji on an off day when there's not a festival going on, so that you're able to know your place and able to see what you can contribute to the better good of Oyotunji, and thereby contributing to the better good of the whole. And so many people do arrive at Oyotunji during festivals, and it's an exciting time, and it's a very moving time. But ultimately, it's best to come on an off day so you can get to talk to people and invited in people's homes and sit down and get some of your questions answered. But traditionally, when someone said, I want to move into Oyotunji, I want to be a part of the community, well, the first thing always was a phone call and a visit, and then after that, then the person would be taken to the river and washed in the river as a form of baptism to wash away all of the entities that may exist from the city environment, because you're getting ready to be born into a different type of understanding of how to be, how to just be, how to be human, and how to live amongst other people. You will be giving a reading and giving a name, and, of course, that divination or reading is going to be speaking of your tenure and how it's going to be in Oyotunji. Now, mind you, many people get that particular reading, and oftentimes it says, well, it's going to take about 10 years before you find your foot here, or it's going to take so much time, and it's not going to be too happy, but if you stick it out, be good, you're going to be productive and help the greater whole. And then other people come through, and they are just the shining example of the type of individual you would need for such a community. And so I would go on to say that it's always best and reiterate to visit Oyotunji on an off day to get a feel of what the everyday life is like living in this particular environment, because it is deep in the woods. And I remember a young lady quoted me in an article with the Charleston Post a few months ago as saying that it disenchants people when they come here. But she didn't put in the rest of what I was saying, as most writers do, as you can understand, huh?
Yes.
Yeah, and so what I meant by that is that a natural environment, if you're not used to it coming from the city, could disenchant you, because sometimes we can have rains in this tropical, subtropical locale for a week at a time, and the grounds become slushy, and you forget the time when the ground was dry and hard and it was nice, and then the mosquitoes would come out and attack you, and then maybe you may be living in the flood-prone area and the water comes up and you have to rebuild your house a certain way. And so there's a lot of challenges, just not on the human level and on the cultural level, but on the survival tip, because you're pioneering when you live in Oyotunji. You're being a part of people who, the first group of modern African Americans to take such a undertaking under their sleeve and make it happen. And so you're definitely being a part of that. And so, like I say, a hard part for people to be able to remain in Oyotunji is having that same understanding of the outside city life, and then moving to Oyotunji, and it's totally different. It's totally laid back. It's quiet. Like now, I can hear I'm standing in my yard, so I can hear over 500,000 crickets and light bugs all around me. And, those things terrify some people. But you could expect to arrive at Oyotunji and be greeted well and be welcomed.
Okay, great. So I guess what you're saying is to start with the phone call. I got it. There's nothing.
Yes, ma'am. And this is an initial introduction here, and I invite you personally, as I do all of the listeners at OORadio, to make the pilgrimage. Okay.
And off season, I know I'm pretty sure I can find that on the website, but can you give me an idea of what off season would be? Is that spring or summer, or is there always festivals year-round?
Well, we have 13 festivals throughout the year, and most of those festivals have been running for the last 40 years or since the inception of Oyotunji, and most of the festivals are doing the end of the months. To give people an opportunity in Oyotunji to finish their business and then celebrate the Orisha. And so the end of the last weekend of every month in the year, we have a festival. But an off time in Oyotunji would be you arriving at the gate, and you blow your horn maybe 3 or 4 times. You wait. Sometimes you may have to wait 50 minutes if no one didn't hear you, but someone would trickle out and find you there at the gate and take care of you. If you're interested in renting one of the small rooms for a night, or you want to rent a hotel nearby, or even camp out, we allow all of the above for you to come and be a part. And so people, we are a very receptive community here at Oyotunji. We are certainly one of the most unusual communities in America, but certainly the most friendly.
All right. That is so good to know. Thank you for the information.
Thank you for calling in. And thank you for being a part of our ritual. His Highness, we did a ritual, a global full moon fill-em-up ritual that the women all did in Oyotunji is where we got it from. Myself and Diade Muiwat led it, and we've had over 2,300 women, close to 2,350 women, come out and do an affirmation for the moon and for the upliftment of the world and ourselves and our children and our families and our mates. And we do this every summer solstice, fall equinox, winter solstice, and summer equinox and spring equinox. And
Beautiful.
She was a part of our prayer circle of over 2,350 women, and I just want to thank her for being a part of that and trusting in us of this ritual that we're doing together for our community. So thank you, sis. But I did want to let His Highness know that also.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations on your efforts.
And it was powerful, too. Very powerful.
Ashe.
Thank you for calling in, sis.
Okay. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. If you would like to talk to His Royal Majesty, call him at 347-934-0126, 347-934-0126. Thank you, Nancy, for posting the schedule for Oyotunji on the in the chat room. She's helping me out today. Thank you so much. His Highness, I want to talk to you about the all-expense-paid trip that you had advertised on your Facebook page that people was like, what's this about? I'm like, I don't know. Let me get a statement from the Allah and get back to you. Then you didn't get in touch with me for like 4 days, and I'm like irritated, like, oh my goodness.
Yeah. Maybe I didn't word everything right in that particular post, but at the particular time, what was happening, there's a film production coming to Yamasee, and this particular film production highlights the importance of women in contemporary society and why women should be more appreciated, understood, and taken care of, and giving more ability within the confines of building a community, because they are the pillar of the community. So this particular film is going to take all the women from a particular community, which is the local community here called Yamasee, which is an ancient Indian or Native American name of a tribe, the Yamasee Native peoples, or the Yamasee culture. And so they're going to take all of the ladies from there, from that community, and they're going to send them on all expenses paid, inclusive, exclusive, everything, vacation, to an undisclosed location, to get spa treatment, and all the things that make women feel good in the spa life. And so they discovered